Sorry. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I said we're good. Dude, can you believe some people? They don't have any fucking manners, man. We're we're all stuck in this closet together, bro. Quit shoving shoulders. Anyway, here we are, stuck in the middle of production. Look at that. I could like, oh, check it out, guys. Check it out. Production. Production copyright by Gray. What's up, Gray? Good to see you. Yo, Eric, how you doing, dude? Been a fat minute. It has absolutely been a minute. It has absolutely been a minute. Yeah, we had to figure out how to do internet here. That was crazy. Apparently, we're the first people to have internet here at this place. So they had to like actually come in and run a line and like drill it into the side of the building. It was really weird. But you know what? We persevered through it and we got internet. And this place is now streamer approved. So we got the streamer approval award here. We love to see it. Oh, wow, how lucky. Thank you. I am real happy that we made some progress, you know? And earlier today, I spent pretty much all day like just editing. I spent a good amount of today like either sleeping and then editing after that. So I am ready to do some more recording today. Because of that, I do want to feature a new feature that how did the move go? I think last time we spoke, you were talking. You were moving to a new place. Well, this is the new place. At the new place here, this is the new closet that I'm in, and the place is really bare right now. Like that's the light. Here's a bunch of stuff kind of laying around. That's a bathroom over there. So, just had to find the place with the least amount of sound leakage going on, and this was it. This was the place. So, it's pretty nice. It's got, I think, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, a basement, and we're gonna be doing some content here. We're gonna be doing a lot of content. So we're trying to get some big mirrors for the basement to do some dancing videos. I want to start doing those. It's a fairly sizable kitchen. I feel like we could do some like kitchen content as well. And yeah, I don't know what else. I might even broadcast from the basement. I got a super cool bar area, so that might be the way to go. So we're all moved in. It took just forever to get internet here, and then I didn't really have a lot of time to go live at my old place because I was literally just cleaning the entire time. I cleaned until I think it was 5 in the morning because I got most of my stuff out, but this was like the very last couple of trips where I put everything into the car and I was ready to go, but then I had to clean the place. So I vacuumed the bedrooms, I vacuumed the closet that I was broadcasting from. I cleaned every bathroom. I cleaned the oven. I realized the refrigerator needed cleaned, so I cleaned that. I realized there was like this caramel that had been dripping or something. I don't know. It was super weird. But there was like a caramel buildup on like every one of the shelves, so I had to clean that, which is so weird. I never eat anything sweet like that. So very strange, but Did that. Cleaned every single shelf. Yeah, it was a lot though. It was a lot of cleaning. It was a lot of cleaning, a lot of sweeping, a lot of Swiffering, but I got it all done. I even cleaned my fireplace. I cleaned every single thing. But the thing of it was my big portrait that I had in my living room. Like the one thing I hung up, it ripped drywall from my wall. So I was really sad to see that, but it took some drywall with me. I have some of my old apartment with me, so that wasn't cool. Speaking of uncool, what are you doing? This thing is walking all over the place here. All right. Probably like that. All right. I want to share this with you guys because I did it off screen. But let's see. Can you see this? In production. Let's go to page 1 because it wasn't on page 1. Okay, cool. I feel it. I'm deep in the moving process right now, and I'm deep cleaning every crevice corner of my house. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry to hear that. That is. Did you hear those dogs? That's going to be so annoying. Anyway, I feel that I'm in the process of moving. Yeah. That was literally me like a couple weeks ago. That was me the week of March 1st to March 7th. Because every single day after work, I was coming back to my place and moving a little bit at a time back into this house. And wow. It's all good. I'm just glad no spiders have been discovered. Glad to hear that as well. Because that's never a good find. But as far as this goes, I have 12 projects in production. I've completed 6. 2 of them went live while you guys weren't looking. So the generative AI interview guide, that one that I was working on, went live on March 3rd. And then biohacking guide, the mastering the art of optimizing your body and mind, went live March 14th. So that was Pi Day. It went live on Pi Day. So happy to see that. We got 1 sale on there. So that's super cool. As far as sales goes, we got about 6 sales this month so far, so that's pretty sick. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We got Baccarat with 2, Blackjack with 2, and then the generative AI and biohacking guides each with 1. But cool thing though is that they actually implemented the listening overview, so you can actually see how many hours people have listened to you. So in the past month, we have 10 hours listened. And then if I extend this out, because it goes all the way back too, we can see that we've been listened to for 84 hours. So we have been listened to for a little over a bi-weekly paycheck right there. So 84 hours. We love to see it. Thank you guys for all of your love and support. There's some peaks in here, 4 hours at a time there on December 30th. So we were getting it in right before the end of the year. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So that's awesome. That's all really cool stuff. I'd love to see it. And what else? I went ahead today and I just finished these really quick ones. A methodology for the present acumen of knowledge. So this is for the nuclear energy project. I've got 1 and 2 knocked out of the way. So hopefully we got 10 projects we're working on. And we have this one soon to follow, enhancing collaboration and efficiency in South Africa's integrated energy system. So I'm trying to knock out these smaller projects as much as I can. and find a good flow for incorporating those. All of my 15-minute segments have been sent, and so I think that right now we should work on medical law and technological advances. And then this weekend, I believe I'm going to work on philosophical methods and their application to the art of living, and legal foundations of a free society. And hopefully we can keep them all at bay while we chew through this absolute elephant. This is so much. It is, we're like drinking from the fire hose here. So, damn, how much did I miss? Hell yeah, dude. Congrats on the audiobooks. Even if I can't always check in, I'm going to support you. Thank you so much for that, Gray. I really support it. I'm going to support you, dude. Keep kicking butt out there. Thank you. We are here to kick butt and take name and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. So this is what we have so far. I was doing a little bit of editing for Legal Foundations because he's been asking about the status of the project, and I definitely want to keep him. I want to at least do a chapter and send that his way. So I think the plan of attack is to tell him that I've edited down like the first few chapters. Here's the first few chapters of that, while also incorporating this philosophical methods. Probably my biggest effort should be at medical law and push that through. The only thing is that I think the same people that made this also are part of Between the Market and the Nation, and the sales on that were like, I mean, well, there's 4 sales, so that's not bad. It's not bad, but like when you compare it to, and comparison is the thief of joy, but when you compare it to like Baccarat, the bestseller, Baccarat, we got 28 sales on that one, which I guess isn't bad. It's been around a fair bit longer. I expected to see far less actually on that, so glad to see more sales on that, I suppose. 4, yeah, published January 8th. Yeah, it's been on the market for about 3 months, a little more than 3 months. So that's about 1 a month. I don't know about that. And I think a couple of these are people that I know, so it's unfortunate. I should ask people to like leave reviews or something. I gotta go though, but I'm still packing my stuff. I am beyond proud of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I hope to try and check in even more, even though work is kicking my butt. I'm sorry to hear that. And hopefully your moving goes well as well. Have an awesome rest of your Thursday. Thank you. And I'll probably see you on Friday because I'll be back. I will definitely be back. So thanks for popping in. It's good to see you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, as far as detailing what my priorities are, I'm going to go ahead and pull up medical law and technological advances. Let's see. Let's go to downloads and go to medical law and technological advances. Here we go. And where were we as far as this goes? I think if I open recent and I go to medical law 2, let's go ahead and close that, save it, please. Chapter 3. Okay. So let's go ahead and go down to Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is data protection and data privacy in healthcare. Everything is muted, right? Right. We got muted. Cool. This is all the way back. Why don't they have this paginated though? Okay, whatever. This actually kind of seems like Chapter 3 here. Because it's talking about data privacy. So let me scroll back up. Bro. Oh, okay. Chapter 2. Yeah, no. Challenges, USA, Brazil, European Union. Challenges. Should I just like control F? It's probably the best thing to do here, right? Command F. Chapter 3. Done. There we go. Page 91. Hey, look at that. I'm like a third through the book. That's crazy. All right. Oop. Let me make sure. All right. Cool. Check 1, 2. Check 3, 4. Nice. Fist away. Fist away. All right, never mind. Chapter 3. Let's sink into this. Chapter 3. Data protection and privacy in healthcare. Data protection and privacy in healthcare. International legislation. International legislations. Importance of data protection in healthcare. Data protection in healthcare is crucial due to the sensitive and personal nature of the information involved. Due to the sensitive and personal nature of the information involved. Health data includes medical histories, diagnoses, treatments, genetic information, and other intimate details that, if not properly protected, can lead to serious consequences for patients, including discrimination, identity theft, and breaches of privacy. See some playback here. Hold up. Check. All right. That's a duplicated channel. Sorry about that. Furthermore, patients' trust in healthcare system Furthermore, patients patients' trust in healthcare systems depends on the assurance that their personal information will be kept secure and confidential. The sensitive nature of healthcare data The sensitive nature of health data encompasses a wide range of personal information, such as detailed records of medical appointments, diagnoses, treatments, and procedures performed. It also includes data about an individual's genetic makeup, which can predict predispositions to certain diseases, as well as information about medicines prescribed, as well as information about medications prescribed, therapies performed, and treatment plans. Data collected through wearable devices and remote monitoring, such as glucose levels, blood pressure, and other vital signs, is also considered extremely sensitive. Failure to adequately protect health data can result in several negative consequences. Health information can be used to discriminate against individuals in... Oof. What's up, Kirsten? How you doing? Good to see you. Health information can be used to Health information can be used... Yikes. Sorry. Health information can be used to discriminate against individuals in contexts such as employment, health insurance, and personal life. Personal and health data can be used by criminals for fraud and identity theft. Furthermore, unauthorized This always gets me when like a word ends with the same letter where another one begins. Unauthorized disclosure of health information can violate patients' privacy, causing significant emotional and physical harm. That's psychological. Yikes. Causing significant emotional and psychological harm. Patients' trust in healthcare systems depends on the assurance that their information will be treated with the highest level of confidentiality and security. Lack of trust can lead to hesitation in sharing complete and accurate information, which can compromise the quality of healthcare. Data protection in healthcare is also essential to ensure compliance with ethical and legal standards. Healthcare professionals and organizations must implement robust measures to protect this information, ensuring that data is processed securely and in compliance with current regulations. Oh, why isn't this following? That's got to follow it. That's my bad. That is less than entertaining. Whoops. Oh, yo, how you doing? Let's see. How's the new place? The new place is very good. The new place is very good. Paying the same place at my old apartment, but significantly more room, so that's good, and definitely a lot more space to create. So we're definitely going to come through with more videos and more different types of videos. So I'm really excited for that and seeing what the capabilities we have as far as streaming goes and what we can evolve the content into. I think that'll be really cool. Work has been keeping me busy but exhausted. Oh no, so sorry to hear about that. Glad it's keeping you busy. That's always nice to have, that something's keeping you busy like that. But hopefully it's not taking you away from anything that's, like I'm sure you'd want to spend a lot more time doing the arts and everything, doing the paintings. That's definitely don't want to keep too busy where you're kept away from all that. So hopefully you still got time for all that. Oh, heard about the tornadoes out there. Are you okay? I'm definitely okay. We had a tree go down in our backyard, but that's about the extent of the damage. That and a little bit of siding on our roof, but that's about it. That's about it. Not too bad. Not too bad. We didn't suffer any consequences of a tornado per se, but the strong winds definitely took a toll. So unfortunate for all that. Some people did not get off as easy. Oof. How's New York, though? How's New York? Has the weather been all right out there? Man. Okay. This is good. This is good. Okay. In the European Union, blah, blah, easy tongue. Ah. Mm. In the European Union, in the European Union, in the European Union, the GDPR sets strict standards for the protection of personal data, including health data, requiring organizations to obtain explicit consent from patients for the processing of their data and implement appropriate security measures. In the United States, HIPAA sets standards for protecting health information, including requirements for privacy, security, and breach notifications. In Brazil, the LGPD regulates the protection of personal data, imposing obligations on the collection, processing, and storage of health information. Effective protection measures include using encryption techniques to protect data in transit and at rest, ensuring that only authorized people can access the information. Implementing multi-factor authentication to access systems containing health data. Implementing multi-factor authentication to access systems containing health data adds an extra layer of security. Restricting access to healthcare data. Restricting access to health data on a need-to-know basis is essential to ensure that only authorized personnel have access to the information. Additionally, conducting regular audits and continuous monitoring of information systems is crucial to quickly detect and respond to any unauthorized access attempts or data breach. Any unauthorized access attempts or data breaches. Lack of adequate protection can result in severe legal sanctions and damage to the reputation of healthcare institutions. Penalties for breaches of data protection regulations can include substantial fines and legal action. Additionally, negative publicity resulting from a data breach can undermine patient trust and adversely affect the institution's reputation. Therefore, data protection in healthcare is a critical responsibility that requires the implementation of rigorous security measures and compliance with ethical and legal standards. Health data security not only protects patients from adverse consequences, such as discrimination and identity theft, but it is also crucial to maintaining trust in healthcare systems. Healthcare professionals and organizations must take a proactive approach to ensure that healthcare data is protected effectively, thereby ensuring patient privacy and security and compliance with current regulations. All right, I suppose it works. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's take a breather. Good to hear you're okay. Yes, I am definitely good. Thank you for checking though. I appreciate you. Thank you for reaching out and trying to see if I'm all right. Like I'm totally fine. But there are a lot of people in my area that definitely weren't. But I don't know. I've yet to see a lot of the destruction that has happened thus far. So I'm sure it'll be coming out here soon. Weather has been good recently here in New York, and there was a massive fire here on the island. Oh no. Started by s'mores about 2 weeks ago. Yikes. That is so sad. I know it just like blazed through LA recently, so that is super unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that, but hopefully everybody that you know and love are okay. That's really horrible to hear. Wasn't close to where I am, so I'm good. That's good to hear. That is really good to hear. There's like either a huge gust of wind or a train in the distance. main international data privacy legislation: GDPR, HIPAA, LGPD, etc. Several international laws establish strict standards for the protection of health data, reflecting reflecting the importance of this topic in a global context. The main legislations include General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, European Union. Implemented in 2018, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, is one of the most comprehensive data protection regulations in the world. This regulation establishes strict guidelines for the processing of personal data, including health data in the European Union. The GDPR is designed to harmonize data protection laws across the EU. Protect the privacy of individuals and ensure that your data is treated with the utmost respect and security. One of the distinguishing features of the GDPR is the requirement for explicit consent from individuals for the processing of their personal data. In the context of healthcare, this means that healthcare organizations must obtain clear and informed consent from patients before collecting, storing, or processing any health information. This consent must be given freely, and patients must be informed about the specific purpose for which their data will be used. Additionally, consent can be withdrawn at any time, providing patients with ongoing control over their personal information. To ensure the security of healthcare data, GDPR requires organizations to implement appropriate technical and organizational measures. Technical measures may include data encryption, multi-factor authentication, and the use of updated firewalls and security software to protect against unauthorized access and cyber attacks. Ooh, cyber attacking my chest here. And cyber attacks. Organizational measures may involve restricted access policies, regularly training employees on data security practices, and conducting internal audits to ensure ongoing GDPR compliance. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save that real quick and take another breather. Let's see. Would love to spend some more time painting. Been too tired recently. Oh no. Yeah, that definitely happens to me too. It's like you get home from work and you're like so exhausted and so drained, and like your mind is like completely encapsulated with the day, that you can't help but still be there at work while you're at home, and you can't disengage from it. And it's so mentally taxing It almost is like you just need to nap after work, you know? Like it is so bad. I'm sending you one of the posts on Insta. Please, please. I would love to see that. Thank you. It's just, and I think, so I don't know if I detailed this in the biohacking book that I did, or if it's something that I learned recently on a YouTube video. Could either have been, it could have easily been either of them. But I realized what's been told was that there's a fair amount of emotional regulation that happens while you're in sleep. And I forget which stage it's in. It's in one of the stages, but sometimes when you're at work, you deal with a multitude of different emotional responses, whether it's good or bad, and you can become so taxed with addressing every individual emotion like that that it can just zap you of all of your energy. And so you have to sleep and reach that stage of emotional regulation just to get back to baseline. You know, it's really sad, but I really do think that the most optimal way to go about life would be to take a nap somewhere in the middle of your day. Usually, like, so what I've heard is like you should do the hardest thing that you could do the first thing in the day. Like something that takes the most amount of cognitive load, do that as soon as possible. And so if you do that and engage with something that's both cognitively and emotionally taxing, and then do that for maybe about 6 hours or so, come home, take a nap, then you can do something more, I want to say more artistic at night. I feel like that's like the best time to do something like that if you've had a really chill day. And you can either have a really chill day and do that, or you can like take a nap after a 6 hour day and then do it. Yeah, I have no energy when I get home from work. Yeah, no, honestly, same here. Same here. It's so bad. All right, I'm jumping back into it. In addition to these measures, in addition to these measures, no. In addition to these measures, the GDPR grants individuals several rights in relation to their personal data. Patients have the right to access their data. Oh, actually. And also, I want to put this down. It's distracting me. Okay. Patients have the right to access their data, allowing them to see what information has been collected and how it's being used. They also had the right to correct any inaccurate or incomplete data, ensuring that their health records are accurate and up to date. Another important right is the right to erasure. Also known as the right to be forgotten, which allows patients to request the deletion of their personal data when it is no longer necessary for the purposes for which it was collected, or if the processing is considered illegal. The GDPR also establishes specific rules for the transfer of personal data outside the European Union. Transfers are only permitted to countries that offer a level of data protection equivalent to the EU, ensuring that European citizens' data is protected regardless of where it is processed. This requirement aims to protect personal data against inappropriate uses and ensure that EU data protection standards are maintained internationally. The GDPR compliance is monitored by data protection authorities. GDPR compliance is monitored by data protection authorities in each EU member state, who have the power to investigate violations and impose severe sanctions. Penalties for non-compliance can be extremely high, reaching up to 20 million euros or 4% of the organization's global annual turnover, whichever is greater. These sanctions encourage organizations to adopt strict data protection practices and maintain high standards of security and privacy. All right, let's go ahead and save it there. We're on Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Estados Unidos. Estados. If I take a nap at work, I will not be waking up in time for the end of my break. Yeah. Facts. I get that. But hey, that's okay. Can you guys hear that? Looks like my bro, shut the fuck. This is gonna cause a real issue. These fucking barking dogs are gonna cause a real issue. If that happens every single day for like hours, I honestly, I may as well just not record, because that is a lot. I don't think that I can actually talk around it. Like, I know for a fact that when the geese were oh, can you not? Okay. Well, I mean, if you can't, then that's good, but it might be because the setting is too low. But when I turn up the gain, this happened the same thing with the geese, because the geese weren't registering. It looked like they weren't registering, so I was cool with it. And then the moment I got to the editing phase and I heard like a million geese in my recordings, I was like, fuck, I got to do everything again, you know? So I just don't trust it at this point. But yeah, there is. Thank you for saying that, though. Gives me at least a little bit of hope. and I'll take that. I wonder if they want to. I wonder if they want me to actually say Estados Unidos, because it says that in the script, but I'm pretty sure they just didn't translate that one. Let's see if I can FaceTime myself again. There's also the fact that I can't hear. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. All right. Um. Mute myself. Okay. Share screen. Share my screen. Screen share. Should be screen. Okay. Ah. Okay. And pull this up, and then I have this at 50% volume. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair, because sometimes I jump scare with some things. Look at that, black bars. So the black bars definitely come from the iPad jumping in. Where though is okay, script. Here we go. Script, not Brave browser, but viewing Eric's screen. Okay. And bring that up. Then guess I'll just put this like over to the side maybe. And then yeah, flip it up. Okay. Yeah, I want to make this interesting. I want to make it so you guys can see it. There we go. That's a little bit more interesting. Okay. I was looking at this bit right here. You see that? Estados Unidos. Think I should read it like that? Okay, we're not doing generative AI again. Estados Unidos. It'll sound like a Spanish 1 lesson coming from me. De Estados Unidos. All right, let's get it started. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, United States. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, established in 1996, is a fundamental piece of legislation in the United States that aims to protect the privacy of health data and ensure the security of medical information. It sets rigorous standards for the storage, transmission, and use of health data, imposing severe sanctions for violations and setting specific requirements for reporting data breaches and obtaining consent from patients before sharing their health information, and obtaining consent from patients before sharing their health information. HIPAA was designed with two main goals: protecting the privacy of individuals' health data, and ensuring the security of medical information. To achieve these goals, HIPAA establishes a set of rules and regulations that healthcare organizations must follow. These regulations are divided into two main rules. The privacy rule and the security rule. The privacy rule establishes standards for the protection of individually identified health information, also known as protected health information, PHI. This rule limits the use and disclosure of PHI without the patient's consent, except in certain permitted circumstances, such as for treatment, payment, and healthcare operations. It also ensures that patients have the right to access and obtain a copy of their health information and request corrections to their medical records. In turn, the security rule establishes standards for the protection of electronic health information, EPHI. It requires organizations to implement administrative, physical, and technical security measures to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of EPHI. These measures include implementing security policies and procedures, controlling access to information systems, protecting against threats and responding to security incidents. HIPAA imposes strict standards for the use, transmission, and HIPAA imposes strict standards for the storage, transmission, and use of health data. Organizations must ensure that health information is stored securely, using encryption techniques and other protective measures to prevent unauthorized access. During data transmission, HIPAA requires the use of secure protocols. To ensure that information is protected from interception and theft. When using health data, HIPAA establishes that information can only be used for the specific purposes for which it was collected. and any additional use must be authorized by the patient. Additionally, organizations should limit access to health information to only individuals who need it to perform their functions. HIPAA includes specific requirements for reporting health data breaches. In the event of a breach of PHI, organizations must notify affected individuals without undue delay and, in any event, within 60 days of discovery of the breach. The notification must include a description of the breach, the types of information involved, the steps individuals can take to protect themselves from potential harm, and the steps the organization is taking to investigate the breach and prevent future occurrences. Oh my gosh. It got super loud. Wait, did it? Hold up. What got super loud? Oh. The sudden loud jump scares always got me because my volume turned up so much. I don't know what you're saying in Spanish, so no, I will continue listening to you in Spanish. Love that you put the writing on the screen so now we can follow along. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this is definitely the move. Except it's a little off, so I'm going to move that. Thank you. Currently painting, opened new can, basically exploded. Oh no. That got super loud. Wait, what got super loud? I'm like looking at my volume right now and everything looks like, unless, no, because you can't hear that duplicated channel. Check 1 2, check 3 4, check. Yo. Check 1 2, check 3 4. Yeah, no, all the duplicated channels are off. I wonder what was loud then. Where was I? Okay. All right. Here we go. The notification must include a description of the breach, the types of information involved, the steps individuals can take to protect themselves from potential harm, and the steps the organization is taking to investigate the breach and prevent future occurrences. In addition to notifying individuals, organizations must also notify the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, and, in certain cases, the media. If the breach affects a large number of people, HIPAA requires organizations to obtain patients' consent before sharing their health information. Except in cases permitted by law, such as medical emergencies or public health investigations. This consent must be informed and specific, allowing patients to know exactly what information is being shared, with whom, and for what purpose. The sanctions for HIPAA violations are severe. Penalties can range from financial fines to criminal prosecution, depending on the severity of the violation. Fines can be substantial with penalties ranging from thousands to millions of dollars. Depending on the level of negligence and the number of records compromised. In addition to fines, organizations can face civil and criminal actions, as well as damage to their reputation. All right, big breath. Okay. General Data Protection Law. LGPD, Brazil. The General Data Protection Law, LGPD, in force in Brazil since 2020. Since 2020 is the legislation that requires the processing of personal data, including health data. Inspired by the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, the LGPD establishes a series of fundamental principles to ensure transparency, security, and responsibility in the processing of personal data. The LGPD requires organizations to obtain explicit consent from data subjects before collecting, storing, or processing their information. This consent must be given freely, informed, and unequivocally, allowing individuals to know exactly what data is being collected, for what purposes it will be used, and with whom it will be shared. The law also... Dude. Shut the... I don't like wasting time. This is a waste of time. Yeah, it's even getting through the noise gate. This is absolutely ridiculous. this is honestly why I don't do that. This is why I never signed up for this. This is why I don't have one. This is just completely wasting my time right now. We done? We might be done. We're not done. We're still going. Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly why one day I'm just going to have my own place in the middle of nowhere. And it's just going to be completely insulated from everything and everyone. And it's not going to have any interruption ever. It's just going to be completely isolated. Because I don't know how much I could probably stand that for the rest of my life. Living next to people that just kind of do whatever, you know? Like somebody could just start their lawnmower, you know what I mean? Somebody could just like start lawn mowing at 9:45. Like nobody's going to stop them. They're an adult. When you choose to live next to people like that, you choose to take on whatever they have going on in their life. So whether that's I'm partying and you're going to have to deal with it, whether that's I'm lawn mowing at 9:45 p.m., whether that's every single neighbor has a dog and they're all barking all the time, you take that on as somebody who lives next to people. And I just don't know how long I could do that before it just like drives me insane, you know? I just I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do this. All right. I think we're done. I think we're done outside. Hopefully we're done outside. I don't even know where we were, to be honest. The law also. Where's the law also? Oh, there we go. The law also. Okay. The law also requires organizations to notify to notify the National Data Protection Authority, ANPD, ANPD, in data subjects in the event of a security breach that could result in relevant risk or damage. The LGPD grants data subjects several important rights. They have the right to access your personal information, which allows them to know what data has been collected and how it is being used. Which allows them to know what data has been collected and how it is being used. Additionally, data subjects can request the correction of incomplete, inaccurate, or outdated data, ensuring that their records are accurate and current. The law also provides for the right to erasure, known as the right to be forgotten, which allows subjects, this is already said, which allows data subjects to request the deletion of their personal data when it is no longer necessary for the purposes for which it was collected, or when the processing is considered illegal. Did we not read that line for line, bar for bar earlier in a section? Is this just not? Is this just gonna repeat exactly what it said, beat for beat, bar for bar, and just expect people aren't gonna? Bro, you said the exact same thing earlier. Hold up. We're on page 103. Watch this. Another important right is the right to erasure, also known as the right to be forgotten, which allows patients to request the deletion of their personal data when it is no longer necessary for the purposes for which it was collected, or if the processing is considered illegal. The law also provides for the right to erasure, also known as the right to be forgotten, which allows data subjects to request the deletion of their personal data when it is no longer necessary for the purposes for which it was collected, or when the processing is considered illegal. My brother, you said that 3 pages ago. What are you talking about? Ugh, come on, dude. In addition to these rights, the LGPD establishes the obligation for organizations to appoint someone responsible for processing personal data, known as a Data Protection Officer, DPO. The DPO is responsible for monitoring compliance with the LGPD, acting as a point of contact between the organization, data subjects, and the ANPD, and providing guidance on best data protection practices. The implementation of the LGPD has several implications for healthcare organizations, which need to adapt their processes and systems to ensure compliance with the legislation. This involves reviewing privacy policies, training employees, adopting new security adopting new security technologies, and creating efficient mechanisms for managing the rights of data subjects. In case of non-compliance with the LGPD, in case of non-compliance with the LGPD, organizations may face severe sanctions, including fines that can reach 2% of the company's revenue, limited to R50, limited to $50 million per infraction, in addition to other administrative penalties. These sanctions aim to encourage the adoption of robust data protection practices and ensure that the rights of data subjects are respected. Therefore, the LGPD represents a significant advance in the protection of personal data in Brazil, especially in the health context. By establishing principles of transparency, security, and responsibility, and by granting broad rights to data subjects, the LGPD seeks to ensure that personal information is treated with maximum respect and protection. GDPR compliance is essential for healthcare organizations to not only avoid legal sanctions, but also maintain patient trust and protect the privacy and security of their sensitive information. Man, okay. Big breath. I had to pause for a few. My brother was talking to me. Oh, cool. Hey, there we go. What's up, bro? I could definitely hear the barking this time. Yeah. It seems like, and I mean, it's fine. Like, definitely have dogs, but like, dude, I think every single one of our neighbors have dogs and they all bark at each other. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Who would mow the lawn at 9:45? Somebody with a headlamp, that's for sure. This is what editing is for? Yes, definitely what editing is for. And I'm going to have so much fun listening to the playback, listening to that one bark in there that I missed. It's going to be so sad when I find that. And I'll be like, I'll have to redo it. And it'll be months down the line, and I'll be so far away from here. I'll be so far away from this booth, I can't get it to sound the same. They're just trying to make sure we fully understand. I guess. Yeah, they said it twice, though. They said it twice. I can't believe they said it twice. Like, I'm gonna read it in the same way. It now challenges me to read that very same line in a different way. And it's just an insult to the reader, to be honest. Like, I deeply treasure the intelligence of my listeners. To the people that listen, the audience, like, I respect their intelligence enough to not give them the whole answer, to not give them the whole puzzle. You're supposed to, as a audience member, like, piece things together, and that's part of the fun is piecing it together in a way where you engage with the content. You don't have to be told explicitly what's going on. That's what makes good cinema. Good cinema is like, it leaves something to the imagination, Bad cinema leaves too much to the imagination, where it's like, oh, who knows? It could have been a dream. And it's like, that ending sucked, but like, good cinema is just like, oh, never would have saw that coming. That's so cool. Or like American Psycho. Is it all in his head? There's three different endings. Guess what? Which one is the one? Piece it together. Who knows? Like, that's good cinema. The one that's really bad is like the ChatGPT generated cinema that explicitly tells you every single step of the way what's going on, what characters are thinking in their mind, as if the listener can't piece it together. That's bad cinema. So to me, I feel like books are the very same way, where you tell them in a way that is engaging and novel and makes it so that they can put things together themselves. And when you say something in the exact same way twice, it's not because you think that it's so good it needs to be said twice. It's being said twice because you accidentally put it in, you copy pasted it. And in my opinion, that just is such an insult to the reader, where you think that, oh, well, they're not going to figure it out. Or you didn't put enough love and attention into your product that you couldn't have found a repeated line like that. Like, I mean, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing, guys? All right. I'm trying to figure out if I should read the conclusion or not, because I'm kind of running up on my timeline here tonight. But I think since it's only like 1, 2, 3 pages away, I may as well read it, but it will put me just a little bit over. So I might go through it quickly. The dogs just spilling the tea to each other. Honestly, I legitimately don't think. I don't know. There's some speculation about that, but I legitimately don't think that they have a language like that. I don't think it's a language. It can't be a language. It can't be a language. Like, that would indicate that certain sounds mean certain things. It just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense for it to be a language. I think it is just simple, like, brute audio input. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think that we like to anthropomorphize things. And so I myself have thought this in a way where it's like, oh, I wonder what they're saying. But to me, I really don't think they're saying anything. Unless it's like a Morse code. You think it's like a Morse code? Like the frequency with which they bark, it like indicates certain things. Like a it's like, save our species, dog toys in the backyard. I peed on a tree. Like, I wonder, I don't know. Who's to say? But I'll tell you what, I'm narrating this audiobook, not the dogs. So what are they doing? Come on. All right. Let's wrap it up. Let's bring it home, guys. Let's bring it home. Challenges and good practices in protecting health data. Protecting healthcare data presents several challenges due to the complexity and sensitivity of the information involved. Some of the main challenges include: 1. Cyber security. Cyber threats, such as ransomware attacks and data breaches, pose a significant risk to healthcare data protection. Healthcare institutions must implement robust cybersecurity measures such as data encryption, multi-factor authentication, and continuous monitoring to detect and respond to threats in real time. 2. Regulatory compliance. Compliant Compliance with various international laws can be complex, especially for organizations operating in multiple jurisdictions. It is essential that these organizations are aware of the specific legal requirements of each region. It is essential that these organizations are aware of the specific legal requirements of each region, and implement policies and procedures to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. 3. Consent management. Obtaining and managing patients' consent to the processing of their personal data is a critical aspect of data protection. Organizations must ensure that patients clearly understand how their data will be used and that they have the opportunity to provide explicit, informed consent. 4. Training and awareness. Healthcare professionals and employees of healthcare organizations must be regularly trained on data protection practices and made aware of the importance of privacy and security of health information. Effective training programs can help prevent human errors that lead to data breaches. 5. Technology and infrastructure. Implementing advanced data protection technologies such as identity and access management (IAM) systems. Next generation firewalls. Next generation firewalls. And cloud security solutions can help protect health information against cyber threats. Additionally, IT infrastructure must be designed to support data security and integrity. Good practices for protecting health data include regular risk and vulnerability assessments. Carry out periodic assessments to identify and mitigate potential risks to data security. Clear privacy policies. Develop and communicate clear and understandable privacy policies for patients. And understandable privacy policies for patients. Data protection by design. Integrate privacy and security considerations into the design and development of IT systems and data processing processes. Incident response. Establish incident response plans to quickly address data breaches. And minimize their impact. Continuous monitoring. implement continuous monitoring of systems and activities. Implement continuous monitoring of systems and activities to detect and respond to suspicious activity in real time. In real time. Okay. All right. Save. 45 minutes. There we go. 45 minutes of Chapter 3. We've made it. Whoopsh. High five to Chapter 4, Legal and Ethical Aspects of Clinical Research in Different Countries. I know you're all begging to hear that next chapter. I hear you guys clamoring there saying, oh my gosh, we're on the edge of our seats. Please let us know about the next installment of the saga. But guess what? This is going to have to wait. It's going to have to wait. I'm so sorry. It's going to have to wait. But it's what we got tonight. And lovin' is what I got, is what Sublime said. And that is all for us today. That is YouTube. And it is good to see each and every one of your beautiful faces. What can we do though? What can we do? We can address some comments that we got in the meantime. They've got to be having a conversation. I hope so. I hope they're having a conversation. I really do. If I could hope for one future when it comes to canine health, it's that dogs do in fact have their own language. I do wish that that were the case, but I can't see any reason why it is. I just, like, as a logical scientist, I can't bring myself to say that. But as a hopeful dreamer with a creative mind, yes, absolutely. If that needs to be the future, that's got to be. We got to find some sort of way to have us talk, you know? We got to talk to each other. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Chapter 3 done. Great work, Eric. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. We are on Chapter 4 of, I think, like 8 or 9 on this one. It's page 108 of 320. So mathematically, let's see how far along we are. We are what did I say? 8 out of 320. So 108 divided by 320 is 33%. We're just over 1/3 of the way there. So, chapter 3 done. We're 1/3 of the way there. We got chapter 4 due. And you know what? I feel like we're going to be halfway there real soon. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are on Kick, I haven't been reading your chat at all. Actually, I'm on it now, but I don't see anybody on here. So, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you are on Kick, good to see you. Good to have you on the playback, but I think that's the only time people see me on Kick. And what else? And I think that's it. We'll be on back tomorrow. So we will be back on tomorrow after work. Going to be doing some more recording, more editing. And like I said, we got 2 edits out of the way. We got a 3rd coming in. So hopefully that's off the plate as well. Yeah, after that, we're just going to be focused on the rest of this book and probably the 1-hour projects that we have for the nuclear energy series. Those are the oldest in the run, so I'm going to try and do those first. But we've also been requested to update for legal foundations and philosophical methods. And I know red light therapy is following right behind him. It's got to be. It's got to be. But that's a 5-hour project, so that's going to have to be on the back burner. I don't know. I work around animals all day, and they're definitely vocal. Hey, well, I hope that's the case. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. I'm going to grab some dinner. So good to see each and every one of you. I love you, and I will see you